Bear, come in here if you're coming. Come on. Come on. Lay down in your spot. Lay down. Lay down, buddy. Good boy. That. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Turnin Laps podcast, brought to you by the guys over here at the High Velocity Racing Network. How are we all doing today?
Doing good, man. How about yourself?
Oh, just living the absolute dream, brother.
There you go, man. There you go. Mama doing pretty good over there?
Yeah, so far. She's in a little bit of pain right now, but, that's part of it.
Yeah, that's true. Other than that, all goods in the hood. You preparing for your big move coming up here pretty soon?
No. I've got a whole 1,400 square foot house to move in the span of 3 weeks, 800 miles. So yeah.
Road trip.
That's it.
Yes.
How about
Gonna
you
be
guys?
exciting.
How the rest of y'all doing?
This week's been hectic for me. I don't want to share all the details, but girl is back from the hospital out of surgery and recovering well. So she's on the couch now, just in pain, but looking better now. So it's good.
Awesome. Glad to hear that. Glad you're doing good.
But she will be missing the race tonight, which kind of sucks. But
I was figuring that was the case.
yeah, she can't move fast.
Well, neither can you.
Oh.
So
Oh,
Hey, I weighed myself the other day.
Runs
We
in the
talked-
household.
I think we talked about it last podcast or the podcast before, and someone mentioned that I don't think someone said I was fat, but they said I was a husky guy. I weighed myself. I'm 227 pounds. Okay, so I'm
Lighter than
feeling
me.
pretty good about that. That's not bad.
yeah, you got me.
we are identical. That's what it told me
Happy-
this morning.
Happy, you gonna share yours too? Okay.
Oh,
I just had to let the record show that I did check because we did talk about it, and I know my weight now. I haven't weighed myself in 5 years, so
Yeah,
I kind of expected I'd be around that.
I have no desire to weigh myself right now.
it's depressing.
I can
I'm 242. I've been losing weight. Mike, if you're 227, then I'm a buck 20.
You want to make a wager?
Well, no, but you must only be about 5'6".
Oh, he's like 5'4".
5'7",
Oh, is he?
asshole.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Yeah, I'm not very tall.
Oh, okay.
But if you ever really want to get your feelings hurt, I have a scale. It's called Fit Index. You stand on this thing, it gives you your weight, but then it's got these sensors in it, and it does pulses through your body and gives you BMI and all this other information, and you just feel terrible about life. Like once that app opens up, it's like you hurt my feelings.
I don't need to know none of that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah,
unfortunately
and,
enough, I can visibly see the weight that I've gained. So, good thing is that I'm hoping for at least is I feel like when you're my age, it's kind of hard to be fat in Florida. I would hope. So, I mean, we'll
Yeah.
see. That'll go one or two ways, but you know, I don't know that the working from home is going to help that case too much. But you know, other than that, we'll be out there getting active, and hopefully, this 1 year marriage wait and sympathy cravings, we'll say, will start to change.
Yeah. I was like, wait, hold
Are
on.
you trying to
think-
claim pregnancy
you-
pounds?
Damn
I
straight.
was saying, you think you're gonna do okay in the weight loss department, having a pregnant wife and a stay-at-home job?
well, you know, she won't be pregnant forever, so
True.
yeah,
Well, if
because
you stay out of there, you won't be.
as soon as the baby's born, that's what she wants to go out and do sports and activities.
hey, whatever she can do whatever she wants to do. I ain't talking about her.
my wife, yeah, my wife was like, "No, you bring me what I want when I want it. I'm feeding a baby."
And that's also extra exercise. I've been moving around like crazy. Can you give me this?
There
Can
you
you do this? So, you know, you all
That's
know how
true.
that goes. Well,
Moving
no,
into a new place is also going to make you lose the weight because you are going to be actively moving everything,
two
unpacking everything.
two
all
new
that stuff,
places
too.
because I will be
Oh, yeah.
I will be with my parents for, you know, 4 or 5 months while we get settled and figure everything out. So by the time I officially get situated there, hey, by the way, you thought you were settled in, but you get to move again. So
Yay.
it's all going to be worth it though, long term. And I've got some money stashed away for triples when I get my own place. So, you know, there we go.
You're missing
There
it,
you are, man.
It's ultra wide. It's all about the ultra
I
wide.
have the ultra wide. It's not as ultra wide as yours, no diddy, but it's not enough.
That just happened.
I realized as that was coming out of my mouth, I was like, there is no way that what I'm about to say is going to sound good. So I'm just going to let it rip. And
You shipped
Okay.
that one.
yeah,
Ship it deep and hope it sticks.
you see where that
No
got me? You see where that
No
got me? Oh,
Oh,
brother.
where's this going?
Let's talk about some racing.
to a different website is where we're going to be going here shortly.
Let's talk about some racing.
Yeah, let's
Let's
do
do
that. Oh, brother. Well,
What
which
do you
one
got?
do you want to talk about? We got the trucks at Richmond and we got the Cup at Las Vegas. Where do we want to start?
I say we start with Vegas.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we can start with
You-
Vegas.
You want to talk all about Vegas, right?
Well, Ray, since you're so excited, why don't you go ahead and talk to us about Vegas, shall you? Let's hear it.
I'm just so happy we changed the fuel. So I'm not running out of fuel again. That is yeah. I'm not
Yeah,
happy with
really,
sixth place
really
finish,
quick. Happy. Have we made those changes? Is that confirmed? I know you're muted right now, but
No, yeah. Yep. I made it for the rest of the ones that I had made up, which was
Okay.
like 3 of them or 2 of them. So we should be good. Hey, you know, there's less fuel now. So now you're still going to run out of fuel. It's just going to be 8 laps less.
Yeah, that's fine. I can figure a pit stop in between there and not. I can make it and then not make it. You know. So
So I want to tell you an embarrassing thing that happened to me during that race. Midway through stage 3, I was like, man, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm doing it right. I am running these guys down. And I was like, oh, wait a minute. They're saving.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that really let the air out of my balloon.
yeah,
Yeah,
there
but
was
it
some
makes you feel
saving to
like
be
a-
had.
A hero.
I say it
Yeah,
makes you feel good when you're passing them all, though, doesn't it?
It
Yeah,
does.
like I was coming. I was like, yeah, I got a great line. Apparently, I'm picking up almost a half a second a lap. This is great. Wait,
Right, that ain't very hard.
how come this indicator's red?
I think the last
not
5
good.
laps of that race, I was half throttle battling with Fry, and like he was also half throttle. We were battling, and it was like, I'm still gonna be short half a lap.
Well, see, that's your mistake. I was talking about this the other day, and it was, I can't remember who it was with. I think it was Mason last night. We did some practice for some road course racing, and you know, we were kind of talking about that. You know, it almost seemed like you and Frey wanted to lead laps, and I don't know if that's the case for you or him specifically, but I remember thinking to myself, I have no problem. I will be the 4th car in line here. You know, we were able to figure out that we all were, I mean, we all saw it. We were 4 in a row super speedway style, and we were all drafting, and we were still making really good lap time while being able to save fuel. But one thing I do remember is I was clutching it in the corners, and I know you and Will were, you know, even if you were letting off for an extended period of time, like when you pit Ray, I had 2 laps left of fuel. I had no problem. Hey, Fry, you want to go? You go on ahead. Ray, you want to go? I'm like, Oprah, you get one. Go ahead. But I mean, it worked out. It was still, I mean, it was still really close in the third stage. I was kind of surprised. Like, I knew I'd pit after you and Fry, but I was kind of surprised like how far you guys fell off though, because we were still, it was like I rode behind you guys like after the pit stop for, I don't know, 10, 15 laps, if that. And then I kind of just found myself being up front, and I was like, okay, my number's still good. And I never really had to look back. And then it was like with 10 to go, you guys kind of just like, it was 1 second, and then it was a second and a half, and then 2 seconds. And I'm like,
yeah.
I kind of had the same feeling as Mike for a second. I'm like, wait a minute, like, am I gonna be good? Like, I don't know, I'm pulling away a little too far for my liking, but the numbers stayed there, and yeah, I don't know. It was definitely an interesting race. It's honestly not one that I thought I was gonna win. Vegas is not a track that I'm particularly the best at, especially fuel saving like that. But I mean, I guess I'll take it.
Right.
Yeah, you gotta look back to the Xfinity race that you did there as well against Millet. You guys battled for an eternity there. I know different circumstances, different car, but the track itself, you drove that very well in the Xfinity car. So I feel like that should have translated over a little bit as far as like knowing the track itself into the Cup car. But we've had an update since then too, I suppose. That does play a factor.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of weird because like I was supposed to race Vegas in another league prior, and I ended up having to miss that week because Power just decided no. But even like when we did our team practice there, like I was like the 3rd fastest, and I don't know, man. Like I kind of thought about that too after the race, and I was like, well, me and Millet did kind of have one hell of a battle here, but I don't know, man. The Cup car, like I went back and like watched my stream and watched the broadcast, and even watched some other people's stream too from the race, and they were driving the track so much different than I was. Like at first I'm like, there's no way these guys are going to be able to keep this pace with how they're driving, with their throttle and their steering inputs. But I mean, they fell off a little bit, but they never really like fell off as much as I thought they would, which is, to me, I was kind of like, okay, but it was weird because I felt like I was tremendously under driving, but I was like, still like in that first stage when I had to fight my way through the back, for example, I was like, okay, I know I'm back here. That's fine. I'll just save a little bit of tire and I'll be fine. And I passed like, 4 or 5 cars, and then I just hit a wall, and I could not move forward in the pack. Obviously they were drafting, but the pack was getting away from me. And I'm like, okay, well, the guys behind me aren't really starting to catch me, but then they started to catch me, and I'm like, okay, clearly something I'm doing is not right. But I don't feel like I did anything different. So I don't know. It's just, maybe it's weird. Like Vegas, I guess for me, I'm not entirely sure. Like I said, it's still not a track that I'm like uber comfortable with, but I mean, I guess I'll take the result that we had anyway. So
NIS really helped me for that week. Like I know I did a lot of NIS racing that for when it was on the schedule, and just for the last couple leagues we've been doing off the scene. Bryce, you and I've really applied to Las Vegas. I really like the track and stuff like that. So it's honestly, it's all about that throttle position and stuff like that, and how you're rolling the turns. And I think I got something that clicked. It's just that I didn't show anything for it. So
I mean, you had a fast car. You just fell on the opposite end of strategy. I mean, that's really what it was. I mean, like I said, I was talking about it, again with Mason, and I was talking to Mason really honestly about his season. Mason's got a fast car. I mean, we've all seen it, but he hasn't put himself in the best position at times, and I feel like that kind of shows his position in the standings. I mean, he's not too far down, but I mean, in my opinion, maybe I'm biased, but he's not an 8th place car in standings. He's won a race, he's shown speed, but we were talking about it. It's those little micro decisions throughout the race that he either makes or doesn't make that are costing him wins or top 5s. And again, whether it was purposeful or not, I feel like you leading those extra amount of laps that you did, I mean, you led 67 laps. You led 67. Mason led 2. Kern led 39. Frey led 1, and I led 25, and that was all in the third stage. So, like even Kern, for example, too, in the third stage on that first stint, he was out front pretty much the whole time. We cycled here and there, but being that first car in line, it didn't help at all. And then of course, we kind of had bad timing with the pit stop because I didn't know Will wanted to pit and I was on his inside, so he couldn't pit. But yeah, I just feel like, and again, it's much easier. Hindsight's 2020, right? But I feel like you kind of had a double-edged sword because you had a fast car, you wanted to lead laps, you wanted to get the bonus points, you wanted to have something to show for it, but it ended up kind of biting you in the long run. And but you still, I mean, you got 6th, so I mean, you still, not a bad finish. I think you had really good stage points as well. Yeah, I mean, you had 15 stage 17 points. Yeah, you had 15, and then you got obviously the bonus for the most laps. So I mean, points wise, Vegas was still a great day for you, even if you didn't get like the finishing result that you wanted. I mean, you still made up some ground in points. So
you ran out coming around on the last lap, right? Right, like coming off of 2.
Exit of 2, I ran out.
Yeah.
That's a long coast,
man. Coast back around. Yeah.
Yeah. Clutch was in, engine was off, and I was in 5th. And I was like, I'm praying. I'm like, I was watching my relative, and I just saw 5 seconds, 4.5, 4, 3.5. I was like, oh no. And like when I got into turn 3, middle of 3 and 4, that's when everyone started passing me. And I was like, well, the car behind me is another 10 seconds back, so I got 6. But yeah, it was close.
Close, but no cigar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Fry ran out off of 4 or into 3, one of the two. I can't remember where it was, but yeah, just watching that gap. I mean, at one point it was like half a second, 1 second, and all of a sudden, next I look back and it's 6 seconds. I'm like, holy, you guys are saving a lot. And then just running out on the last lap, it was rough.
I did everything I could to save, just to still battle with Fry as well, and I did not work in my favor. So
stage 2 was that insane battle at the end, right? It was like 6 of you guys all battling it out for the race for the stage win. That second stage was probably the best racing all night. Honestly, just you guys were,
you couldn't go anywhere. You could not go anywhere. Like so Texas, I think, is like the perfect comparison track. Like, I mean, you guys saw it on the broadcast. Me and Ray raced hard, and me and Kern raced hard. I wanted the bottom at Texas, and I made it work, and I made it work well. At Vegas, if you were on the bottom, you could not do anything. Like the final stage, I think that's honestly kind of part of why the racing was so good, is because nobody had anywhere to go. And like I was telling Ray, I thought the stage ended like 4 or 5 laps earlier than it did. So I turned it up on Ray sooner than I should have. And then by the time we're done battling, that brings Fry in, that brings Kern in, and then they're attacking, and then it's just like.
And by then I couldn't do anything the whole
I
was like, I'm already.
Ray had nothing left. I was scrambling. I still ended up getting P2, but like, and that's the thing. I like at the end of that run, I had a better car than Ray, in my opinion. Like I could get to race bumper out of 2 or out of 4, no problem. For the life of me, I could not get that right rear, no matter what. I mean, he did a great job doing what he was supposed to do, but I couldn't get to the right rear. And the 2 or 3 times that I did just say, okay, screw it, I'll try the inside, nothing for it. I think CD kind of mentioned that too at one point. Like, you just couldn't pass. And unless you had like a significantly huge tire advantage or help, you couldn't do anything. And like I said, Ray did a great job protecting the right rear like he was supposed to do. And again, we all kind of just stacked up at the end. I mean, we were 3 wide. Nobody could, like I said, nobody could go anywhere. I'm like getting pissed off because I'm like, dude, like I'm faster than these guys. Let me go. But it was fun. I mean, I think I said it on the comms, like literally the outside of my biceps were hurting because I was squeezing the wheel so damn hard in that battle, but it was a blast.
Yep. Glad you guys had a good time with it. It was funny on our comms because Happy, Chris, myself were all in the same chat, and Happy was just like, I know I gotta stop for gas. I'm just going full bore. I'm keep going full bore, but I'm pretty sure that's what I should be doing. You guys, I don't know if this is what I should be doing. I'm gonna slow down. All right, yeah, I gotta save a lot right now. Dude, you committed to it, man.
Yeah,
Roll.
and at that point you're cooked. I mean, if you're gonna save fuel, we've talked about it a lot. If you're gonna save fuel, you have to save it earlier, because if you wait to the last minute, then it's like, okay, this is the pace I have to run no matter what to make my number. If you start saving a little bit earlier, that number does change, you know. And yeah, if you wait too long, your proverbial goose is cooked.
For sure. And
nice trick I
Happy
learned.
and I were doing the same thing, and that's why we both ended up a lap down there at the end, because you guys could maintain a faster pace than I could to make it at that point.
A good trick I learned, Mike, is in the cup cars. If we're keeping up with these guys, we're off strategy. So if you can just think of it like that, we're doing something wrong, we're off strategy somehow, and we need to look at our fuel and our tires and figure out why we're catching these guys, because it ain't gonna. We're off somehow.
I agree, and it took me way too long to figure that out. Gave me that false sense of confidence. But yeah,
like that
other than
sometimes.
that, man, it was fun.
You had a good time calling that too, Chase? The race there?
It was good. I mean, honestly, I feel like the fuel played a factor in the strategy, obviously, for you guys. As far as the call itself went, it was pretty good. I think Darlington was more exciting just with the battles. The second stage was the most exciting part to me because of that intense 6-car race for the finish of the stage. The end of the race was just, again, fuel strategy. And then Bryce was able to save a lot more. The Darlington race finish was more exciting for me because that battle went down to the last lap. But overall, it was a great race as well.
Yeah. Well, like I said, Bryce ended up taking it home. Ray finished second. Mangrum was third. Kern was fourth. Tomlinson was fifth. Ray was sixth. And Kennedy Jr. was seventh, last car in the lead lap. Sean was eighth at a lap down. I was ninth a lap down. And Mercado was 2 laps down in 10th. But did we get any changes in the overall standing?
Ray went up. So Fry moved up a spot. Ray moved up 2 spots. Jose lost 2 spots. Kern went up a spot. Hudson went down 2, and then Marini went down 2, which he had some trouble early on. So, as far as
I did adjust everybody's provisionals too, so that probably played a little bit into the factor with the movement.
Yeah, okay. I did forget about that. But yeah, so I mean, some movement there for sure. I had it pulled up earlier when we were talking already. So a little bit of movement, but nothing too crazy. I mean, it's still a pretty close battle between the top. I mean, 2nd through 6th. Well, really through 7th is a really close battle. I mean, I have started to run away slightly, but that's all gonna come to a head here very soon, as I'm gonna be missing some time. But so I'm gonna kind of remove myself, probably really honestly, from that battle, and that number 1 spot is gonna be close, man. And I mean, again, we still have. I do need to get this pulled up. I knew I was forgetting something here. I meant to pull up the schedule and get this pulled up really quick.
We've got 3 more races, including tonight. We got Michigan tonight for 100 laps. Next week, we've got the Chicago Street Course. And then after that, we've got a week off for the Memorial Day weekend. And then we close out the regular season with the Charlotte 300. That's going to be a 200 lap event there.
Yeah,
so we've got 3 more.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Chicago Street, I mean, attendance is probably going to be lower. It seems to always be that way. We're probably going to have more DNFs at Chicago Street Course just because of the nature of it. Charlotte 300 is going to be
a grueler
regardless. So yeah, I'm trying to look at my schedule now. Like I'm going to be good for Chicago Street. Obviously, the weekend after that, Memorial Day weekend. And then the Charlotte 300 is going to be close. That may be the race that I miss. I might miss from Charlotte to, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 to Richmond. So, I mean, I'll miss the whole first round.
Well, you still might be able to win the regular season, though. I mean, you have a decent gap, and if you do good here and this week and next week, you may not use a provisional at Charlotte and still, you might be able to hold it down for the
Yeah.
season champion.
Yeah, we'll see. That's the goal. But we'll see how that plays out. There's some good. I hate. There's some really good tracks. Like, I'm obviously Super Speedway. I might still have to try to find a way somehow. I'm from Chicago to run that. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, Miami. We just raced there in another league. I mean, that's a great track. Richmond, cool, whatever. And then Watkins Glen. I would hate to miss that because I'm the road course guy. But yeah, I mean, either way, we're still having a decent amount of like movement throughout the standings, which is great. Even if it's not like as much as the truck series per se, but we still have some movement, and you know, there's still a long way to go. So anything could really shape up. So with all of that being said, we can start the transition. But before we do, we got Michigan tonight in the Cup Series. Again, we got some more strategy is going to play out a little bit different with the fuel, of course. So let's just go in order from my right. Chase, if you had to put your money on somebody tonight at Michigan, who are you thinking?
Oh, you gotta throw me on the block first.
That's right.
Immediately, I think of you because you've been pretty dominant so far this season. And Kern, I believe he said he likes Michigan as well.
He does.
Let's go Kern. We'll go to Kern tonight.
I respect that. What about you, Mr. Chase Elliott, man?
I want to know how team practice went first.
You think we practice?
Okay, well that answers that question.
I'll tell you this. Me and Mason yesterday did a random test session and both did about 3 laps each, if that tells you anything. And it was a qualifying run.
I did 4 today, so.
Ray, so you guys did 3, Ray did 4. I'm gonna go with Ray.
Okay, before you make that call, hey Ray, do you want to explain to Mike what happened last time we were at Michigan, or?
Yeah, I got costed by.
Okay, 10-4.
Well, he's not blocking the ball. Anyways, I don't want to get into it here.
Oh no, we got to hear this. You can't give a
Last
cliffhanger like that.
I'm leading. Bryce is behind me. He shoves me into 1. I gather it. Bryce gets pushed to the bottom. Former teammate comes up behind me. Perfect. 1-2. I get shoved up the track in 3. Bryce takes the apron in 3 and 4. Ends up winning the race, and I come second. Story of my life. Fucking race with this guy, man. I swear.
Hey, those fresh tires.
After about a year.
Those fresh tires, man.
Yeah.
Oh, and that's another thing. I forgot with the fuel, we get another set of tires too tonight.
Yep.
It's true.
I'm glad I reminded myself of that. Thanks, Ray. Anyway, Ray, who you got tonight?
I got the Vans. This is gonna be honestly with the draft packs and stuff like that. The fans are gonna be the winners because of the fact this track is gonna be all out warfare tonight. There's gonna be a lot of
that's great on the postcard. Who do you think's winning?
I don't know. There's honestly a lot of good drivers. Like you got CD, who's really good at the long strategy game. I know anybody that we're racing with at the front there. I know Frey's not racing tonight. He has a provisional, but Bryce, Mason, Kern, I'm more on the back end of that, but we always have good strategy and whatnot near the end of the races. I mean, it could honestly be a wild card depending on the fuel. It's the first race that we're trying something different, so it's hard to pick an actual driver, like a one for sure driver. But I wouldn't be surprised if you see Mercado or
well, Mercado's not racing tonight, I don't think either.
Mercado's not.
I think he did say he had something to do. I can check on that really quick.
Mercado, Fry, and Gross all using provisionals tonight.
They are.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
Damn, all them? I can get a top 10 today.
No, you'll still find a way to screw that one up.
Excuse me. Well, I know
Tucker's shown
racing.
pace. I say Tucker's shown pace as well at times.
Exactly. Yeah. Like there's a lot of drivers that could do something. I mean, like even Anthony Hall, Bobby Grady, if they are coming out, I know they're tentative right now on the schedule, but I'd honestly see a couple newcomers up in the front tonight just for strategy and whatnot. So I think it's going to be a good race, and I can't just say who's going to win it because there's too many hands here.
This is the longest effing answer I've ever heard.
He's Canadian.
I'm not lying, though.
He's Canadian, man. Leave him alone.
You nice son of a gun. I was going to pick Fry because I didn't know he was taking provisional. So if that's the case, then I'll have to go with Fry.
Finally. No, I'm just
Well,
kidding. No, I'm just kidding.
well, the one race I actually watched your stream on, it was that Michigan race, and yeah, I know you ended up winning that
Yeah.
other league. So, other than that, then you've been winning here. So, I mean, that's a safe pick.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Like, teamwork tonight, I feel like is going to be very important with the fuel strategy that we're going to have. I mean, obviously, it's not a super speedway, but there are super speedway like qualities, and I feel like if you are going to make a pit strategy and pit by yourself, you are going to be behind the 8-ball. Because if I pit by myself and there's 18 other cars in a line going 205 down the front straightaway and I'm hitting 199, they're gone. But again, with it not being a super speedway though, the flip side of that is how can said pack manage racing that close in the corners? Like me and Ray suffered from this at Indy, for example. We had 3 teammates in a line at Indy, and down the straightaway we were catching the leader, but in the corners we would lose another 2 to 3 tenths just because of the dirty air. Now, luckily Michigan is a multi-groove track. You know, you've got probably 7 lines you can run. I don't want to test that out the hard way, but you know, we'll see. But yeah, I mean, that's going to be the interesting thing. And then of course, like, limiting mistakes, right? We've seen it from Kern, we've seen it from Ray, we've seen it from CD, we've seen it from you've made some mistakes. I've made mistakes as well, you know. Everybody, but you know,
Pit road.
Pit road. I mean, we haven't really had any like silly restart stuff, I don't think, here, but you know, still penalties and everything. I mean, there's gonna be a lot, and then again, like a new strategy too as well. I mean, not to harp on it too much, but was it 5% less fuel or 10%? I mean, it was
10.
Yeah, 10%.
We went down to 40% fuel.
Yeah,
it's 40% fuel. So really, Michigan will probably stay green. I mean, let's be honest; it's a pretty easy and wide track. Shouldn't be too many incidents happen. Then with that second stage, well, anyway, with the second stage going through the finish, like you're gonna have to pit twice, I believe. So, because stages are at 25 and 50%, 40%, you're probably going to have to pit twice. That second time, you're going to have a set of tires and probably about 10 laps left. So, there's going to be some strategy. Do you take a set? Do you take one side? Do you take none? So, I don't know how many laps will be left, but there can't be but 10%, 15% of the race left by the time you have to come in there for a splash.
Always take left sides. Only left sides.
Up in the booth, it's going to be an interesting race tonight, just because of the strategy.
Can I take my left front and my right rear? Can I do that?
I don't think that works.
They should let you. Why not? I'm sure someone would do it.
How are you going to jack up both sides of the car at the same time?
I mean, they do it in Formula. They do it in Indy. They do it.
That's different though. Yeah, but that's a lot different. Let's be honest. That Formula car is not even anywhere close to the same weight.
Well, you know, we'll see what happens. But yeah, we'll so there's everybody's picks. We will transition.
You didn't pick, did you?
Nah, that's everybody's picks. We'll transition to the truck series.
You made
us all pick. Come on.
My pick is
no picking yourself.
Sean Happick. Sean Happick is my pick.
Solid, very solid.
Let's make us that even bigger, Bryce. Let's make us that even bigger.
Hey, listen, that's Super Speedway guy right here. 2 or 3 Super Speedway wins in 1 week. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Numbers don't lie.
That is true, but this isn't
into both of them.
Speedway.
Into both of them.
So what? That's what they are.
Anyway, truck race, Richmond, Sunday night. Yeah, let's talk about that one. That was a great race until it wasn't, and then it was a great race again, and then it wasn't again. So Zachary Tyler comes away with the win. Mike gets his best finish of his career here, I think, right?
Oh yeah, by a long shot.
Yeah, so you said it. I'm just kidding. No, and then Sean Happick comes away in 3rd, and then Chase in 4th, and Tucker in 5th, and I'll get these results pulled up. But yeah, I mean, it was a good race. Like I said, at the end, it got a little interesting to say the least. But I mean,
it got garbage at the end. Don't lie about it.
Yeah.
Well, you know,
we had a couple of runs, but other than, I mean, they were shorter runs in that 3rd stage. We had the first 2 stages really were as clean as they could be. There was a couple of incidents in there, but overall, I mean, it was a pretty good race through the first 2 stages.
We had
I think
another
we only
race
had
like
4
that.
cautions like that in the first 2
Yeah.
stages, and 2 were
Yeah,
stage breaks.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dover was opposite of that because we had that long green flag run at the end, but it started out bad. Then this one was a tale of 2 different races, man. Because we
It
did
was.
great first 100 laps or 80 laps, and the last what we do 160, last 80 or 70 laps, it was just a caution fest. I mean, we went
Yeah.
from like 3 or 4 to like 15. We ended with or something like that.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
ended up
something like
19.
No, geez,
A
yeah.
lot. Let's just say that it was a lot.
19 cautions for 75 laps. Good grief.
It didn't feel like it until you go back and watch it, and it's just like every other lap there's a caution, and it was in the third stage. The first 2 stages were great. There was like an 8 or 9 lap run there in the third stage, and another 7 or 8 lap run that we had, but it was not. I know a lot of people were looking for green flags. Me and Tyler were looking for yellow flags through the
Oh,
end.
yeah.
Through the end, because we wanted that heat cycle to continue to benefit us there at the end, and it eventually got to the point where I was able to battle from second and keep you guys behind me. So
Yeah, it was just weird. Like, we kind of talked about it behind the scenes, but like, I mean, there were a few incidents that were dumb, but it's like nothing was really like egregious there at the end. It was just whatever it was. If it was somebody self spinning or somebody hitting the wall or, diving in too deep, like it was all, I guess, like normal mistakes, if you will. But it was just weird because like you guys had such a great rhythm in the first 2 stages, and then all of a sudden it's just 2 laps caution, half a lap caution, turn 1 caution, and then 5 or 6 laps caution, and then it was just like it was really weird to call up in the booth because like I remember even going back and I'm like, okay, what stupid thing is going to happen this time? And then it was kind of like, I mean, it was kind of a little bit dumb, but kind of more so a racing incident. Like it was just weird. Like, and then nobody can get into a rhythm, and then everybody's like, okay, well, if this is how it's going to be, then let me go for every position I can get till the yellow flag comes out. And then it was just the whole cautions breed cautions. And then next thing you know, I don't know if you ever played Minecraft, but it's like you kill the big slime and then you get 2 slimes and then you kill the 2 and then it just keeps going and going and going. And yeah, I don't know. It was interesting.
Yeah, watching the replay, seeing that's exactly what it was at the beginning. Everybody knew they were on. The fresh tires didn't feel great for the first 2 laps. So everybody took it real easy. Same thing, start the second stage. And I felt like when the third one happened, or when the third stage started, I think it was like 3 laps in, somebody hit the wall, then made contact, and somebody else. And then it was an early caution that we hadn't had. And after that, it just seemed like everybody was, and towards the back of the field, really was thinking, okay, I'm on warm tires and they're going to grip, let's go. And then it went, but it went around.
yeah,
And just time and time
around and around.
yeah.
time and time and time. Yeah, that was a rough replay, but beginning of it was awesome, and thankfully we got we had green white checkered flags. I couldn't say a good run at the end, but we had a 6 lap run until that last green white flag head came out. And at the end, it was fun. I actually was talking with Tyler in the waiting room. I was like, man, I don't want to say you should thank me, but my conscience took over and I didn't give you the bump and run that I had a full head of steam to give you. I was like, I don't want to take that from you, and I don't want to take my first one that way.
You're better than me.
But man,
I mean, as long as it's not a dump and run, you're better than me. Ray will tell you.
The momentum he had, that might have been a dump and run.
Hey, Ray will tell you. Will tell you. I don't care how far I am ahead in the points. I don't care if you're my teammate on that last freaking lap. As long as I'm not wrecking you, you're getting the bumper. Like I said, Ray can tell you firsthand.
Multiple times, not even for a win of the race. It's a stage win. He's doing the same thing, and like
all them playoff points.
Hey, numbers don't lie, baby. Come on.
True. Yeah, no, it was good, and Matt stayed up front a lot of the race as well, and I thought you were going to get it before me. To be honest with you, I was like, oh man, Matt's going to get the first win.
Yeah. So we'll talk about the incident that put me back a little bit there at the end of the race. So going into turn 3, Happy likes to say that he intimidated me out of position.
That's
But
what it was. I scared you. You were mirror driving too much.
I really wasn't. I was looking out the windshield. I look in the mirror quick as I'm getting ready to enter to make sure I'm not cutting the nose off. But other than that, no. I went into 3. Too much throttle input off of 4 sent me down into the grass. I took a little jump on that little bit of pavement there, and then fell back a bit. Yeah. Oh, it was a jump. I know it was. I felt the car come up in the air. But yeah, and then I got it back under control, and then we got the caution that put me in position to actually make a run towards the front as quickly as I could. I was honestly hoping for another caution. If we got one more, I feel like I had a shot to get back to the top 3, maybe top 2. I don't know if I would have had race winning speed, but
yeah, you had a solid truck. Like I was, and I don't want to pick on him, but he's an example. Like KT, for example, like he struggled a lot on corner exit. He was fast. He qualified pole, if I'm not mistaken.
Full. Yep.
Yeah,
Full.
I mean, so he was fast, and it's like he not even self-spun. He caught it, but it's like I even said it on the broadcast. Like he caught it the first time, and then he caught it the second time, and I'm like, surely the third time is gonna be the time. And I was like surprised at how many either self spins or near self spins that we had on the exits of 2 and 4. Like I've raced Richmond before. Obviously, I know it's slick, but it's like it was kind of the same guys doing the same thing, and I can maybe understand it closer towards the end of the race. Like, okay, guys are trying to inch that little bit more out of the truck, but it was all race long. And there was kind of a point where I was like, okay, at what point are we going to learn to not even like learn from our mistakes, but you clearly need the rear tires here. And the more and more times that you near self spin or get loose, you're just making it easier for yourself to do it. It's the same thing like locking the brakes up at a road course. Once your tire gets that flat spot, it's going to find that flat spot. And it was just so many times. And I'm like, surely these guys are going to get it, right? And it just kept happening and happening. And I mean, again, like KT, again, not to pick on him, but qualified pole, had a fast truck, and unfortunately had nothing to show for it because he just couldn't manage the throttle on the corner exit. And like you said, Chase, you almost costed your race doing it. A couple other I think Travis at one point had a pretty big moment. I mean, just a lot of guys. Yeah. So it was interesting.
Well, we talked about how important throttle input was going to be at that track. I want to say it was in the podcast last week. So going into it, I knew how important it was because I had raced the truck race when we had trucks A at Richmond. So I knew how important throttle input was out of 2, out of 4, because you get too much on the loud pedal and you're just going to come around. So you just got to be able to balance speed with the throttle inputs. And so I was going into the race expecting to be slower because I wanted to make sure I wasn't putting myself in those, vulnerable positions where I was coming around. And ended up just kind of finding more speed as the race went on, which is kind of my MO anyway. But I was happy with how the truck felt at the end.
I kind of learned partway through stage 1 that the truck did not want to be at 100% throttle unless I was straight on the back stretch only. Front stretch, if I stayed like 95, it was very happy, had grip, good to go. But as soon as it hit 100, I could feel the ass starting to come around already. So I didn't touch 100 unless I was already pointed straight on the back. And like you said, the throttle input was huge. I know I said it on the interview as well, but the imagination of an eggshell being underneath the pedal, that I felt that was huge with this track, and I suck at short tracks. But I was like, okay, just don't overdrive the truck and or my abilities and just roll. And it panned out.
Yeah, it was definitely a fun track. I don't think I had a P2 or P3 car, to be honest with you. I think a lot of guys were quicker than me. I think Matt was probably overall quicker than me. I think I was quicker than Mike because he didn't ever pass me all darn race, but that damn restart, he whooped my ass on. But I
didn't pass you until I did.
Yeah,
I think that's what happened.
Just on a restart. That's it. But
we had 19 of them.
I know. I was the only one you got me on. But anyway, when we were running, the top 4 or 5, they were kind of leaving 6th and 7th. And you were in 6th then. But no, I mean, I think Travis was faster than me. KT was quicker than me. Mejan was quicker than me. Camburn was quicker than me. There was a lot, but I didn't. I was able to have a little throttle control, and I was able just to outlast a lot of guys. Thank goodness. So, but I don't think I was fast enough to really have a P3 if everybody was still in it. Just fortunately for me, a lot of those quick guys end up screwing themselves up.
Yep.
It was a
Definitely.
tale of two races for me. I felt like start of the race I was fringe top 10, but at the end I felt like I was top 4, top 5, and I ended up in there. So
Well, and that's just, I
Yeah.
mean, it turns, like I said, it's like kind of like a roulette at that point, right? Like just who can, I mean, really be at the right place at the right time. Like, you know, there was a, I can't remember what it was. There was a race I did recently. I can't remember where it was. But I literally said to myself, like, I'm just going to drive it deep into the corners because it was just caution after caution. I don't know if it was official or another league race or whatever it was, but so I'm just going to keep driving it deep into the corners. And if the caution comes out at the right place, it's a free pass, right? And that's kind of what ultimately ended up happening with the trucks is you didn't have to be the fastest car. You just had to be in the right line. Like, for example, the guy in second got screwed pretty much every restart. And then the guy that was in third would get second. And then those two would keep flip-flopping on those restarts because the advantage that you would get. And, you know, there's something to be said about that. That's another conversation. But it's just, again, you can't, we've talked about it literally all season long with the trucks. Everybody knows who's fast on the long run and who's fast on the short run. And unfortunately, right now, the guys that are faster on the short run are getting a natural advantage because the long run doesn't have time to come into effect. We've seen, even in the Cup Series alone, we've seen how important green flag pit stops are. We haven't, I mean, we're starting to get more of them in the Truck Series, but we haven't gotten a whole lot of them. And the few times that we've had green flag pit stops, guys have lost their race on pit road. Again, even in the Cup Series. So, you know, it just, again, it just becomes literally the definition of right place, right time, and, you know, what line has more momentum at any given point. And, you know, it to an extent kind of can be more excited, but it's also, it's more stressful. And then it's, again, it's kind of just more Mickey Mouse because it's where your truck is at any given moment. I mean, we see it in real life too. Like, oh, well, this guy was a millimeter ahead when the caution light came on. And it's like, okay, yeah, sure. But the guy on the outside is going 10 mile an hour quicker. The caution just happened to come out when they were right there. Like, and, you know, and I don't know. We'll see. Where are the trucks at next week?
Atlanta.
That's right.
Exactly.
Yep,
I was
Atlanta.
like, you want to talk about a place that paying attention to pit road is important. Don't
Yeah.
forget,
Yeah.
everybody. The entrance to Atlanta is entering turn 3.
Yeah, I mean, super speedway, drafting track, different obviously than the other two on the schedule, but yeah, Atlanta's going to be fun to watch. It's going to be interesting. The trucks feel a lot different there than the Cup car, for many a reason, but it's going to be.
I don't know if I've ever raced it at the current settings that we have it at, but I was thinking that it being cooler was going to give it a lot more grip, but we ran I don't know, probably 70, 80 laps last night, and it felt like you were barely touching the track. So hold on to your butts.
Handling is a factor at Atlanta, and any car, even in the Cup car, handling does start to become a factor. So,
oh yeah, but I am.
Yeah, you can shrug down there, but you know it's true.
So much.
That I'm not saying it's like a traditional mile and a half, but that front end can get real floaty later on in the run, especially when you're in air. And, you know, is it enough that's going to make you drift up like a lane or two? No, but, you know, if coming down to crunch time and you're pushing the guy hard in front of you, that front end is going to start to get heavier and heavier, and then eventually it's just going to start to float. And you drifting up half a lane or not having to square push the guy in front of you, and that's the field. That's the big one. So
what's the over-under on K&W taking out more teammtes this week?
Oh, 10 out of 10.
See if they can blow a motor from second. Let's see if they can blow a motor from second again.
Wreck their teammate on lap 3 from coming from the back of the field.
We tried to blow a motor last night and couldn't do it. So we're good.
You weren't trying hard enough.
Yeah,
yeah. P2 pushing an entire fuel cell, and I hit like 267 and couldn't get it to go any further.
But when you're side by side and you can't get any air at all,
That is
I mean,
also true.
So, and then if you're in the pack, you're going faster. I mean, that's another thing too. I mean, when you're in a field of, 20 or so drivers, those speeds pick up at least, 5 to 10 mile an hour. So you're pushing more RPM naturally that way. You don't have room to poke the nose out. You can definitely get yourself into some trouble at Atlanta. And then too, with the quad oval, I would assume with the trucks probably not going below the double. Well, I guess it's blue and white line there.
I think we did agree to that. No going below that.
So that's going to be, another factor as well. Cause again, that quad oval comes up quick at Atlanta. It comes up
and
real quick.
It's way different from any other super speedway too, because you've got the second.
We didn't agree on that. If they want to take it, let them take it.
Okay.
They just can't come up in the field. That's on them.
It's their responsibility to rejoin the field.
Yeah. Oh yeah. All them trials are always open. I mean, if I race and don't stop it, then it's open. I ain't taking it. I probably never will. But if somebody wants to.
All right.
I don't.
You heard it here.
I don't.
All right. Well,
Yeah, you heard it here. Last lap, you can take the try. You can take the quad oval on Happy. He's not taking it.
Well, maybe on that lap.
No, you made your bet now, brother.
You're not doing it.
Said you weren't going to take it. So if you do it now,
I won't need it.
I won't call you a liar. We're going to call you a liar if you do it.
I won't need it. Don't worry.
Yeah, you're not going to be up there.
Uh-oh.
But yeah, no, I'm stoked about Atlanta. Can't wait to get there, man.
Same.
At night too, so this will be my first time to race it at night.
It's fun at night.
That's what you guys ran it in the Xfinity series.
Yep.
I wasn't running then.
I'm excited.
I wasn't talking about you. I was more talking about Bryce.
Oh well, screw them.
The truck's
Bryce with his .000 win.
Hey, in the famous words of Vin Diesel / Dominic Toretto, it doesn't matter if you win by an inch or a mile. Winning is winning.
And you won it by the nose of the Supra.
Hey, all I'm saying is Zach Millett was granny shifting, not double clutching like he should have. That's all I'm No, that was a good race. But yeah, so I guess predictions for Atlanta. I'll start. Again, 2 for 2 on Sean Happick. He has shown that he is the super speedway guy here at High Velocity Racing. So my pick is going to be the number 52 of Sean Happick for Atlanta. Numbers don't lie, baby.
I don't know, man. Numbers don't lie. One caution, half a lap. It would have been a different story. It would have been me or Mike. Anyway, I'm gonna take Mike. I think this is where he gets it done.
Appreciate that. I'll pick you because that's what I was thinking. I was like, man, it's probably going to come down to chase try again. Hopefully things go away this time.
Let's not run out of fuel this time. I hope that's the way it goes.
Yeah. Okay.
Who has signed? We don't have a sign in yet for it.
No, because we're over a week away. That's why.
That's true.
But it's good picking Mike though. Not only does he have to go against everybody else, he's gonna have to drive against his own damn teammates.
Yeah, but he was leading. He didn't have to worry about blowing up. It was just the guy behind him that blew up.
Or getting wrecked.
The guy behind him that took him out.
Yeah, and Travis dumped me.
Oh,
that's right. That did happen. I forgot about
It was
that.
the same thing, yeah. Travis dumped me, got the fast repair, and then Cameron blew up behind me.
And then freaking Chris last week tries to take out both of them.
Got me in that one. If
Yeah,
that
three
first one,
wide.
he got me.
You should have heard him on the team chat, man. He's like, it was dead quiet. Oh shit, we're going 3 wide. Like, calm down, man. Calm down. Here we go.
We can do it.
I'm gonna go for someone that hadn't won yet again. We've already had was that our 11th winner? I'm gonna go for someone new again. I don't know who it's gonna be, but I think it'll be someone new. I know it's
these nuts.
we literally just picked 2 new winners, Mike and I.
Yep.
Oh well, it can't be y'all 2.
Well, as Bryce said, you can't put that on it sounds good on a postcard or something to that effect. So, give a name.
Well, as Bryce says, numbers don't lie, so it can't be either of y'all.
Damn.
Okay.
I would argue that my run of form lately has been vastly improved.
It has. And I'll be honest with you, I haven't led but like 4 laps since Talladega in this chase. So I'm going the opposite way.
Hey, there's my point. The last amount of laps you led the most at was the super speedway. We're going to a super speedway. Come on, baby. 52 to the front.
Numbers don't lie.
Damn straight.
I got a little bit of a right field here pick for Atlanta. I'm gonna pick Zachary Tyler.
Back to back.
I mean, that's not right field. He won last week.
I say, well, not only that, he was good at the super speedway last time too. He ran really well at Talladega. Him and I were in position to win that race if we didn't need to get fuel.
And the only reason why, like, I don't know much about the truck series, right? Like, I broadcast here and there with Bryce, and I've tried to keep up with it. It's just with my schedule right now, it's kind of hard to follow along. But Zachary Tyler's only raced 13 races out of everyone else who's raced roughly 16, 17, 18. So we haven't really seen full potential. Like, we've seen how he's driving and stuff like that, but he hasn't raced every single race everybody else. Being 21st in standings, well, since last race, he's gained +4 in the standings. He has 1 win from last week, 3 top 5s and 4 top 10s. I know Super Speedways is a gamble, but I honestly think he's gonna do something. He's gonna shake some heads this week or next race at least. And
this whole truck series has been a gamble. It's so hard to pick winners because we've had so freaking many, man.
Well, here's the big thing: is he off the IPL?
He is.
That's the big thing. He's been on the IPL basically since he joined the league as well.
Yeah.
So now that he's off,
bad time. Yeah, he started with like Nashville
Gateway.
Fairgrounds or something.
No, it was Gateway. It was Gateway.
Yeah,
He joined.
Gateway.
We picked him. Shell Shockers picked him up, and he had a terrible race at Gateway and put himself behind the 8 ball. And he's been trying to battle back since then. And now that he's off the IPL, he's able to qualify. He's shown speed overall more than me, even as far as in practice sessions that we've run. He's been faster than me. He's quick. Now that he's able to qualify, he's able to put himself in a position where he might be able to run near the front all race, as opposed to sitting in the back waiting to get through the first couple of stages and then turning it on for the third stage.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go Chris because I think he gets himself caught into. He kind of has like that KT effect where he just finds himself in some other people's problems. But I think if he can work it out, I think he has a good chance to win this race.
And K&W has been good, so
average at best.
Yeah.
No, just kidding.
Better than the rest of the truck series right now. They're leading the team standings.
Yeah, true story. But with that being said, as you can see in the background, the session for the Cup Series is open. I want to get to turning left and going fast. So thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Turning Left podcast, brought to you by Bryce and 4 other slow guys. Just kidding. We got Chase, Mike, Ray, and Happy down there doing whatever he's doing. You know, I always got to bust your balls when I get the chance. So we will see you in about 10 or so-ish minutes for some Cup racing at Michigan, and see you back here on Sunday for some other racing next weekend because it's Mother's Day. So tell your mom Happy Mother's Day, that you love her. Get her